Today is the birthday of our Constitution, and that is a national holiday, although not as well known as its big brother, Independence Day, but no less meaningful. In fact, Constitution Day, the birthday of the Constitution, in many ways is more important than Independence Day, because it's one thing for 13 colonies to declare that they are no longer part of Great Britain, but it's another thing entirely for those 13 colonies to come together and decide that there be one country, a brand new country, called the United States of America, and that they're going to have these three branches of government, and that they're going to guarantee rights to all of the people who live in that country. And that's why this document that we're celebrating today is so amazing. And this holiday, in our view, is not celebrated enough. But one thing that the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia promotes every year is this event, which is America Reads the Constitution. And in venues like this, all around the country today, on September 17th, citizens are gathering to celebrate this great document through the simple act of reading it to a public audience, and choosing readers that really make the document come alive, so that we can all see what this really means to us and what our rights mean to us. So my law firm, Adam Rabin, and myself, our law firm, McCabe Rabin, is very, very proud that this is the 5th year in a row we have done this. And each year it grows and grows, and we get such an enthusiastic response to it. And we're very, very proud to do this for the 5th year. We have a brand new venue, for those of you who've been with us in the past. We're very excited that this year, Palm Beach Drama Works has agreed to host us. And
the theater is the greatest pulpit to me to express views and to start the national conversation about our social and moral issues that we constantly like to talk about. No better play that is all of that expressed as of mice and men. So we open on October 11th. I hope you'll give us a shot. Is there anybody here that's seen a production? I don't know, that sounds like about 20%. But if you want to do this again here next year, it's got to be 100%. Thank you for support.
We've gathered a group of readers together, and we're not going to read the entire Constitution, but we're going to read the most important parts. And our group of readers includes 2 mayors, a fire chief, judges, more lawyers than you can throw a stick at, teachers, students, even 2 former political opponents in a contested race. And everybody is here, extra credit to me, by the way. They're all here to celebrate Constitution Day and to really show what this great document is all about. We're also here, it's a special occasion because this is the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. So we're going to have a very, very special guest to read a portion of the Emancipation Proclamation. We discovered, Adam and I, many years ago, that the star of this show are really kids. And when we have kids read, it makes a much bigger impact. So keeping with our kid theme, this year we're going to start off the Star-Spangled Banner by the Palm Quartet. Ellie is 9 years old, Annabelle Bellucci is 10, Valentina Bellucci is 12, and Jenna Abel is 12. And you will be amazed at their Palm Quartet. Rabin. Every year, in conjunction with this event, our law firm hosts an essay contest open to all middle school students in Palm Beach County and private. And we have an essay prompt to celebrate Constitution Day. This year we have once again had hundreds of essays submitted to us. Our lawyers grade all of those essays in non-billable time. And Adam's going to tell us about the essay contest and the winners. Adam?
Before we launch into introducing our winners of the essay contest, which is a contest that we host now all 5 years, I just want to recognize the Palm Quartet that just played, because Kimberly Abel, who's a local attorney, sent me a video on my iPhone about 10 days ago. And she and her husband Bill have been coming to this event for years with their kids. And she sent me this video clip, and they were rehearsing playing the Star Spangled Banner in their living room. And I clicked it, watched it, and I literally got goosebumps watching, which I hope maybe some of you got while watching it up here today. So thank you again, guys. Every year we host this community event, and we get a wonderful cross-section of the community, including all types of community leaders, judges, lawyers, teachers, war veterans, most importantly, children. In addition to hosting a reception and reading of the Constitution, we also, as I mentioned, host an annual essay contest for middle school students. This year, our essay topic was the following question. The Constitution sets forth a number of important rights and responsibilities for the United States citizens. In your view, what is the most important right that we enjoy as citizens, and why? Also, what is the most important responsibility we have as citizens, and why? In response to this question, we received roughly 250 essays from 6th, 7th, and 8th graders across Palm Beach County. We want to recognize some of those students today who we thought wrote some of the most wonderful and compelling essays on those topics. Before we recognize our 3 grand prize winners, I want to recognize the students and their families who are here today and came out, who also received honorable mentions. And when I mention honorable mentions in the audience, if you're here, I'd like you just to kind of raise your hand as we recognize you. And please find Beth Boyd of our firm after so you can claim your prize, an iTunes gift card. The honorable mentions are that are here. Bruises from Western Pines Middle, who wrote on the responsibility to pay taxes. All right, maybe with that choice of topic, you're going anonymous. Also, I want to recognize Leah Linan from Tradewinds Middle, who wrote on the freedom of speech. Thank you guys. Make sure to get in contact with Beth and claim your prize. Now for our 3 top winners. Our 3rd place finisher wrote an essay on the right to bear arms. Here is an excerpt from that essay. In our Constitution, there are many important rights and responsibilities that are vital to our Constitution. The right to bear arms is the most important right, because without it, robbers and looters would destroy our neighborhoods. A Harvard study shows that countries with higher gun ownership, such as Finland, have murder rates that were almost nil, 2 in a total of 100,000 people. The murder rate in Russia, however, where certain weapons, including handguns, were banned, was 30.6 in 100,000 people. More than 15 times that more in Finland. This study is a prime example of how vital the right to bear arms is. Crime rates would skyrocket if the Second Amendment were somehow infringed. I want to recognize Patrick Bosco from Western Pines Middle School, and please help me congratulate him with his prize of $100. Finisher wrote an essay on equal protection under the law. Here is an excerpt from that essay. Today was a good day. I woke up on time, got ready, and was on time for the bus. After that, I went to school. Teachers were nice. I got home, did my homework, then joined a Skype call with good friends. Night came, and I took a bath. Good day. But wait, what would have happened if this day took place 100 years ago? Okay, let's think. 100 years ago, 1913. Well, racism was still present. Being an African American, this topic is very important to me. The right that all of us In 1913, blacks had to sit all the way in the back of the bus behind the whites. Today, I sat in the middle of my bus with my white friends. I got home, did my homework, then joined a Skype call again with good friends. Those friends are all white. This right Americans have should not be taken lightly or as a joke. That is how I feel about the right of having equality with every other American. Please help me. Being an African American, this topic is very important to me. The right that all of us are equal. In 1913, blacks had to sit all the way in the back of the bus behind the whites. Today, I sat in the middle of my bus with my white friends. I got home, did my homework, then joined a Skype call again with good friends. Those friends are all white. This right Americans have should not be taken lightly or as a joke. That is how I feel about the right of having equality with every other American. Please help me in congratulating Jerry Jerome from Western Pines Middle. Our first place wrote an essay on freedom of the press and Americans' responsibility to vote. Here's an excerpt from that essay. Freedom of the press is the most important right we are given in the Constitution. In America, the media is allowed to inform people about the government's actions, good or bad, and can't be punished for doing this. This is called the political watchdog function, and is really the most important part of freedom of the press, because it makes sure that the citizens know what's going on in their own government. Because politicians know that they are being monitored, and that people will learn about what they are doing through television, the internet, or newspapers, they are more likely to do the right thing. I think the most important responsibility we have as citizens is voting. A lot of people in America don't vote because they don't understand what a big responsibility this is to our country, and they don't appreciate how important it is. In countries that do not have elections, people do not have any say in who is running the government or how it is run. Can't vote politicians who are making laws that hurt people out of office. But in America, we have this right. If people don't exercise this responsibility, they are letting their country down. Because government is best when it is made up of voices of the most people. Voting gives you that voice. Please help me congratulate Bach Middle student Ray Leonard, first prize, $250. And as our first place finisher has become our tradition with Constitution Day, Ray Leonard also will receive the honor of reading the preamble to the Constitution. So without further ado, let me allow Ryan to kick off our reading.
We the peoples of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Section 1 of Congress by the Honorable Spencer Levine, 4th District Court of Appeal.
All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, who shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives.
Article 1, Section 2, Douglas Battle, American History teacher at Bach Middle School of the Arts, along with Madeline Winchester, 10th grade at Dreyfus School of the Arts. And I'll add that Mr. Battle is a distinguished American history teacher because he actually has tattoos of the founding fathers on his arm, which is a serious commitment.
The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states. No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained to the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state in which he shall be chosen. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and the other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment.
Article 1, Section 3, the Honorable William Green, Vice Mayor of the town of Juno Beach.
The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof, for 6 years, and each senator shall have one vote. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state for which they shall be chosen. The Vice President of the United States shall be the President of the Senate, but shall have no vote. Unless they be equally divided, the Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments.
Lisa Small, Judge of the 15th Judicial Circuit.
Article 1, Section 4, Meetings of Congress. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. But the Congress may any time, by law, make or alter such regulations, except as to the place of choosing senators. The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be on the first Monday in December, unless they shall by law appoint a different day.
Justin Thicklin, 12th grade student in the Pre-Law Academy at Inlet Grove Community High School.
Each house shall be the judge of the elections. Return the qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business. Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and, with the concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings, and from time to time, publish the same.
Rabin, President of the South Palm Beach County Bar Association.
Article 1, Section 6, Senators and Representatives. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of peace be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses and in going to and returning from the same.
Article 1, Section 7, Ken Johnson, past president of the North County section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association, joined by his daughter, a 5th grade student at Jupiter Farms Elementary. Is it Delaney or Carly? Carly?
Every bill which shall pass the House of Representatives in the Senate shall, before it become a law, be presented to the President of the United States.
If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it. If after such reconsideration, 2/3 of that house shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent to the other house, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approved by 2/3 of that house, it shall become law.
Next is David Spector from Maplewood Centerfit, along with his son Chase Spector, 5th grade, Rosarian School.
Article 1, Section 4, Congress shall empower to levy and collect taxes, levies, imposts, and acceptance, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States, borrow money upon credit of the United States, and to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and
Next is Greg Ward, past president of the Broward County Federal Bar Association, joined by his daughter, Elizabeth Ward, each side of Montessori School.
The Congress shall have power to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. Coin money, regulate the value thereof, and a foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures, provide for the punishment of counterfeiting, securities, and current coin in the United States.
To establish post offices and post roads, and to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries.
next three readers we're very excited to have them. First, Article 1, Section 8, Jack Bornstein, a World War II veteran and a man who actually fought at the Battle of the Bulge. Mr. Bornstein.
Powers of Congress. The Congress shall have power to constitute tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court, to define and punish piracies and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations, to declare war, and to raise and support peace.
I forgot to mention that Mr. Bornstein fought with the First Army at the Battle of the Bulge. Our next reader, Morris Horowitz, also fought at the Battle of the Bulge. He fought with Patton's Third Army. And if you know about the history of that battle, the First Army was trapped. It was actually rescued by the Third Army. And these men need to know that we're talking a little bit earlier, that they've maybe met before.
Power of Congress. The Congress shall have power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper to carry into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested in this Constitution in the government of the United States and in the department or officer thereof.
Next, Article 1, Section 9, I would like to invite Captain Blair Heath, who served with the 1st Infantry Division in the Iraq War.
The privilege of writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. No bill or attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. Money shall be drawn from the Treasury in the consequence of the appropriation made by law. And a regular statement and account of receipts and expenditures of all public money shall be published from time to time. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States.
Next is Caitlin Notice, a 9th grade student in the Pre-Law Academy at the Inlet Grove Community High School.
Executive powers shall be invested in the President of the United States. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years.
Or she.
Except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of President. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who have not attained the years of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. Before he enter the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Next, Article 2, Section 2, Jill Weiss, President of the Palm Beach County Bar Association.
Article 2, Section 2, President as Commander-in-Chief. The President shall be Commander-in-Chief of Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states. He or she shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators present concur.
Next, the Honorable Jerry Moyo, Mayor of the City of West Palm Beach.
Article 2, Section 2, Powers of the President. The President shall nominate and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers and counsels, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States, whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for.
Gerald Richmond Greer, past president of the Florida Bar.
Article 2, Section 3, State of the Union. And I'm also going to add he or she, since this relates to the President. The President shall from time to time give to the Congress information of the State of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he or she shall necessary and expedient. He or she may, on extraordinary occasions, convene both houses or either of them, and in the case of disagreement between them, with respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time as he or she shall think proper. He or she shall receive ambassadors and other public ministers. He or she shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed.
I think we've officially amended it now. Article 2, Section 4, to the Honorable Minu Sasser, Judge of the 15th Judicial Circuit.
Article 2, Section 4, Impeachment. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors.
Next, Article 3, Section 1, the Judiciary, by the Honorable Kenneth Merrow, United States District Judge for the Southern District of Florida.
Article 3, Section 1, the Judiciary. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. The judge both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior.
Article 3, Section 2, Patricia Lowry, Squire Sanders.
Powers of the Judiciary. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority. To controversies to which the United States shall be a party. To controversies between four states and between citizens of different states. The trial of crimes, except in cases of impeachment, shall be by jury, and such trial shall be held in the state where the said crimes shall have been committed.
The full faith and credit clause, Rick Holland Knight.
This is Karis Hutchison. This is Article 4, Section 1, full faith and credit clause. Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public records, acts, and judicial proceedings of every other state.
And the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof.
Next, Article 4, Section 2, by Lonnie Martins, Chair of the Pre-Law Academy at Inlet Grove Community High School.
Article 4, Section 2, Privileges and Immunities. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime, who shall flee from justice and be found in another state, shall, on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled, be delivered to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime.
Enough lawyers, let's switch to doctors. Article 4, Section 6, Daniel Claus, MD, Jupiter Internal Medicine Associates.
The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both in the United States and in the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States.
Next, the Honorable Eula Clark, Mayor of the City of Stewart. And the lawyer.
Ratification and signatories. Done in convention by the unanimous consent of the states present the 17th day of September in the year of the Lord 1787 and of the independence of the United States of America the 12th. In witness whereof, we have hereunto subscribed our names, among others, George Washington, President and Deputy from Virginia, Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Morris, James Madison Jr., John Rutledge, and William Jackson, Secretary.
That was the main body of the Constitution. Now moving to the amendments. The preamble to the Bill of Rights will be read by Dina Kiever, former Assistant United States Attorney, candidate for State Attorney, and now Senior Counsel to McCabe, Rabin.
The preamble to the Bill of Rights. The conventions of a number of the states, having at the time of their adopting the Constitution, expressed a desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending the ground of public confidence in the government will best ensure the beneficent ends of its institution. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, 2/3 of both houses concurring, that the following articles be proposed to the legislatures of the several states as amendments to the Constitution of the United States, all and any of which articles, when ratified by 3/4 of the said legislatures, to be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the said Constitution.
For the First Amendment, Ron Fonzoli, Richmond Greer, also a member of the Florida Bar Board of Governors.
The First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for redress of grievances.
The Second Amendment, Chris Kammerer, PA.
Second Amendment. Well-regulated militia be necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep arms shall not be infringed.
Third Amendment, Chief Carlos Cabrera of the West Palm Beach Fire Rescue.
The Third Amendment. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law.
Fourth Amendment, the Honorable Dave Ehrenberg, our State Attorney for the 15th Judicial Circuit, accompanied by his nieces, Danielle Heller, second grade at Murakami Park Elementary, and Samantha Heller, kindergarten at Murakami Park Elementary.
In their persons, houses, with papers and facts. Against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, no warrant shall issue.
but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Taking the Fifth Amendment will be Tamara Cudman, Chair of the Criminal Law Committee, Palm Beach County Bar Association.
Accompanied by my paralegal. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, as in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against him or herself, nor deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation.
Thank you. Sixth Amendment by the Honorable Carrie Howitt, our public defender for the 15th Judicial Circuit.
Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature of the accusations, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense.
The Seventh Amendment, Jack Scarola, Searcy, Denny Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley.
In suits at law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law.
The Eighth Amendment, Carolyn Bell, Assistant United States Attorney, accompanied by Jake Reinhardt, 11th grade, Oxford Academy, and Brian Reinhardt, 8th grade, Weiss School.
Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed,
nor cruel and unusual punishments lifted.
Ninth Amendment, Bonnie McCarthy, civics teacher at Bach Middle School of the Arts, accompanied by Shelby Rabin, 7th grade student at Bach Middle School of the Arts.
The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed
to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
The 10th Amendment, Michael Pike from Pike and Lustig, PA, accompanied by Aaliyah Pike, 3rd grade at Binks Forest Elementary, and Ariel Pike, kindergarten at Binks Forest Elementary.
The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by its states, or are reserved to states respectively.
At this point in the program, in the history of the Constitution, we're skipping 11th and 12th Amendments. And we're up to 1863 when the Emancipation Proclamation was rendered. This is the 150th anniversary of that document, and we are very proud and pleased to have to read that to us the Honorable Edward Rogers, who is really a local legend in our community. He was the first African-American county court judge, first African-American circuit court judge, first African-American chief judge in our circuit, the former mayor of Riviera Beach, a man who even has a United States post office named after him. We are thrilled and proud and privileged to have you read this to us, sir.
50 years ago? Emancipation Proclamation.
by the President of the United States of America, whereas on the 22nd day of September, in the year of our Lord, 1862, a proclamation was issued by the President of the United States containing, among other things, the following to wit: that on the first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be thenceforth and forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no acts or acts to repress such persons or any of them in any effort they may make for their actual freedom. And upon this act, sincerely believed to be an act of justice, warranted by the Constitution, upon military necessity, I invoke the considered judgment of mankind and the gracious favor of Almighty God. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the United States to be affixed. Signed, Abraham Lincoln.
The 13th Amendment, Bill Hutchinson, Greenberg, Georgia, PA.
13th Amendment. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
The 14th Amendment, John Mariani, Schutzen Bowen, Chair of the 15th Judicial Circuit Judicial Nominating Commission.
14th Amendment was effective July 9, 1868. Deals with citizens' rights. It's one of the most litigated provisions in the Constitution. It's the basis of such cases as Brown v. Board of Education, Roe v. Wade, Bush versus Ford. 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the laws.
The 15th Amendment, Edith Barnes, accompanied by Celia Barnes, Kindergarten, King's Academy.
Right of citizens to vote.
15th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous of servitude.
th Amendment, Gail Landon, accompanied by Garnisha Lewis of Y Girls of the YWCA of Palm Beach County. And I understand that you all can't wait to go away to be with us, so we're very, very proud.
The Congress shall have power to levy and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived, without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration.
The 19th Amendment, right to vote not abridged by sex, Main President, Executive Women of Palm Beaches.
The 19th Amendment, 1920. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex.
The 22nd Amendment, Alicia Roy, Chair of the Florida Bar Family Law Section.
Alicia. The 22nd Amendment, 1951. No person shall be elected to the office of the President more than twice, and no person who has held the office of President or acted as President for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected President shall be elected to the office of President more than once. Tongue twister.
The 24th Amendment, Jean Marie, President of the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association, accompanied by Sean Paul III, VPK program at Elbridge Gale Elementary.
Okay. 24th Amendment. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president, vice president, or electors for president or vice president, or for senator or representative shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay poll tax or other tax.
I think he is definitely a lawyer. Last amendment, 26th Amendment. There are actually 27 amendments, but we're going to stop at the 26th. Justin Sheehan, 11th grade, Palm Beach Central High School, a cadet, 2nd Lieutenant with the Civil Air Patrol.
The 26th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States, who are 18 years of age or older, to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of age.
Please give our readers a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're a history nerd like us, hold on, we have a couple of things. First, I want to thank our who worked so hard to put this together, Wendy, Beth, Kelly, and Janet. Thank you so much. Please give them a round of applause. We also have a very brief video to show you, and it's a little dry, it's a little technical, but it does talk about the Constitution, and this is where many of you in the room will appreciate it. From your very beginnings of law school, this is what you see. So Josh, if you could please cue the video on this very technical documentary about the Constitution.
In 1787, I'm told our founding fathers did agree. The right of suffrage for keeping people free. The USA was just starting out a brand new country, and so our people spelled it out the things that we should read. And they put principles down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since then. The first part of the Constitution, called the preamble, tells what those founding fathers set out to do. We the slowly in order to form a more perfect union. Establish justice, ensure domestic equality. Provide for the common defense, promote general welfare and man, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of